World, my name is Melinda and welcome to Universe Lovers. On today's video, I am doing the super popular 3D Optical Illusion Ombre look, which is trending all over social media. It's definitely a beautiful look, and if you would love to see what that looks like and also chat a little bit about being in your 30s, then stay tuned. Let's talk about some important topics, right? We're in our 20s, we're having fun, we're drinking, we're possibly smoking, we're possibly doing drugs, we're having a lot of sex, and we're not knowing our true purpose in life. And we do have our goals, some of us, and some of us are just like living life and just enjoying the moment. Now, when it comes closer to hitting your 30s, or if you are in your 30s, your body slowly starts to adjust and switch. There's just this huge transition, the connection between the outer you and the inner you just merging together. And I think that's what's so special about turning 30, that this connection just comes and mends together, and you just start to feel a deeper peace slash chaos. Because I gotta say first, let's say it starts off as chaos because you don't know what it is, you don't fully understand it. Nothing is just so vain and quick and easy anymore. Things just have to have a lot more substance, and you are slowly turning into a new being, and that is never the easy part, you know, because everything has to change because you're changing inside. So there's just like this time clock saying like, hey, you're 30, you're gonna definitely think about things a lot more in depth than if you were in your 20s. 30s is such a special time, especially for a woman, I feel, because I don't know, it just kind of shifts you into being this adult, which can be a little bit of a trigger slash like, I'm getting old. When I turned 30 was when I hit my biggest shift in life, because my body was just talking to me differently. My body was communicating different things to me, things that were so easily brushed off. Now we're like, oh no, there's something said there. Like, let me take a second look at this. Let's not just let it go by and then carry on with the day. You know, the deeper questions come in where you're like, what is the meaning of my life? What is my purpose? What am I supposed to do? Who am I? I have to know who I am. I have to know the deeper parts about me, because there's a connection going on right now where like the inner side of me and the outside of me are merging together, and sometimes they don't know each other. At least for me, I didn't really know it. I was beginning to learn about myself, but I didn't know the complexities of what it was to be me, and that was very triggering, very challenging, and I just spent a lot of time trying to figure out what is the meaning of this whole thing. But now I take life with a lot more seriousness, a lot more in-depthness, and I don't just let it run through me so quickly. I'll be like, get back over here, I got something to say to you. So that's what being in your 30s is more or less like, because life is just like, you're 30, right? And if you live to 100, you've already lived like a little bit over a quarter of your life. And it's important to just actually like sit down and be with yourself and listen to yourself and just be like, oh, okay, she's saying this. For me, it was very intuitive. I was like, okay, what is my purpose? It doesn't have to be making $1 million, $10 million. It doesn't have to be, you know, driving a Lambo and all. No, it was more like, what do I really want? Like, what do I really want? And one of those things were like, hey, I want to get to know you a little bit more. I want to like love you some more. I want to know what love is. I want to know what love is. But things like that were super important to me, you know, tapping into the things that really make me happy, learning how to direct my life, because it's a reset, it's a new start, it's a new chapter in my life. And any new chapter in my life, as we all know, not just mine but in a lot of people's lives, is that the new chapter is, it just becomes it's just a whole whirlwind of new things that have to be like added in, and a lot of old things shifted out. Whenever you have to make changes in your life, it's just so difficult at times, right? Because it's like, it's so many things to do. And it was a time that I spent a lot of time by myself. And I gotta say that it was a great thing because I did take out time to just nurture myself, love myself, have self-talks with myself, pamper myself, deal with a lot of like trauma, doing a lot of healing, a lot of work with, you know, my childhood. And all these things were starting to shift my whole paradigm, my whole world. So seeing my body starting to change and my hips getting bigger and my thighs getting bigger, and just because I'm becoming a woman now was really like, ooh, for me, like, whoa, that's intense. You know, I didn't expect all of this. I didn't expect like my feelings to just become a lot more grander. I was super emotional, and I would feel when I was gonna get my period in some intensified way. Like I knew when I was getting my period before. This time I could feel the whole vibration like flowing through my body, and it was just something so different, and it became something so sacred and so beautiful. And just learn to like not wear makeup. At that time I just wanted to be like no makeup and just love my own natural skin, love my own natural beauty, because nobody taught me that. I just lived life the way I grew up, and you know, I felt it was something that I needed to be in tune with, right? I didn't need to wear makeup to cover things up. I'm not saying that was the case, but just in case it was, I wanted to just know like, hey, let's remove this out the picture and focus on just loving myself like all the way. And that shit is hard. Imagine like taking out the time to just take all the judgments and taking out all the bad habits and not knowing how to look at yourself in the face. I would look at myself in the mirror eye to eye, and it would just be like weird, you know. Saying I love you to myself, hugging myself. I remember I would hug myself and I'm like, oh my god, if anybody sees me, they're gonna think I'm crazy. But these are little things that I had to do in order to change my life, in order to come and connect that new person that I am, that my body was telling me like, hey, this is your womanhood, and tap into it. And it became something so marvelous. It became something so spectacular and adventurous, and it was just a journey that I went on, and I'm still on, because now I'm in my mid-30s. But I gotta tell you, ladies, do not be afraid of going into your 30s. I remember before, I used to be like, oh my god, when you're 30s, that's like really close to 40. And 40s, like, you're old and you're like on the verge of death. And it's like the total opposite. You are a new person. And if you respect and listen to that new person and take the energy and time and space to just build that new person, that is just, I guess it's just a natural time clock of how, you know, the universe makes things. But it just becomes a very, very luminescent moment in your life. And in the beginning, there are going to be a lot of hiccups, and there are going to be a lot of shifts and changes. But the main thing I would recommend is just take those crazy, chaotic, crying, screaming, not knowing moments, and just like, don't bring them in with the energy of like hate, disgust, and like just complete fear. And fear is completely natural, but take them in with a spirit of love, with a spirit of joy. You may not feel those things at the moment. You may want to cry and scream and yell, but if you put a good energy towards your growing and changing and expanding into this new person, into this womanhood that you have been designed and put into this planet for, it's going to change everything for you. It's going to be dynamic. It's going to be dynamite. It's going to be chef kiss. So please learn to just take these moments to just love yourself some more and congratulate yourself for hitting 30s. There's many people who haven't made it to their 30s, and that is a very sacred and beautiful time to just embrace who you are and the planet and everything that is around you. So take this time out to show love and joy and peace to yourself and deep gratitude. It was a pleasure sharing this energy with you, especially my beautiful women. We are sacred, we are beautiful, we're incredible, and so are you, men. But this goes out to the ladies. You know what I'm saying? Just kidding, but really though. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow. Also check me out on Instagram at Universe Lovers with a Z at the end, and we will talk soon on the next video. Love you all. Toodles.